City.
Actually, that's spot on.
It is spot on.
All the competition that try to compete.
Everything is spot on.
Welcome back, family, here on Spot on Sports. This is a new episode of My Point Exactly. I am your host, Jermaine, joined by my brothers Rod, Wayne. How y'all doing, man?
Feeling good.
Yo.
Another great week of sports, man. Y'all know as we get into the middle of this NFL season, man, we had some boxing going down this weekend, big championship fights. New champions have been crowned. NBA, they getting it underway. We got some changes going on with MLB as well, but we're going to kick the day off with NFL per usual. Let's talk about the hottest team in the NFL right now, fellas. The New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, Mac Jones, the Tom Brady replacement. So right now, the Patriots are currently sitting at, what are the record of, like 8-4?
8-4.
They won six games straight. Hottest team right now in the league, man. So it's a lot of chat going on about this New England defense. They've been flying around, holding it down, making it easier for their offense, looking like the best defense in football right now. So Wayne, let me ask you, do you think the Patriots are a real Super Bowl contender? I mean, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I'm pretty sure they'll make the playoffs, but do you think they can make a deep run?
Well, to answer that, I've been doing my research, looking at the strength of schedule, looking at the other AFC teams. I think they got a chance. I'm gonna give it 75% chance. I'm gonna give credit to the defense. I'm gonna give credit to the offense. They're playing very well, even though they may not on paper it don't look like they had the talent there, but it's showing that they do, and they playing some really good football games, blowing a lot of teams out, losing very close games. So they tell you right there they're a very good football team. But I'm gonna give credit to Bill Belichick. I heard a lot of people saying he need Brady. He wouldn't done this without Brady, but I think he really didn't need Brady, and it shows that he don't need Brady, and he don't need a lot of talent with New England. Been about since they've been in the NFL. They don't have all the stars on the team, but the coaching, Belichick coaching is different. I study Belichick coaching. I look into a lot of coaches, and what makes him stands out is I believe he coached every position before. So as him coaching every position, he knows the game of football so well that it applies in his coaching, as you can see. And then his coaching style, he read a book which was called The Art of War by Shang Tzu, I forgot the name. But Belichick coach, you see he takes this very seriously. It's like it's a chess game with him. And I believe the defensive coordinator is Matt Patricia. He's back as well. When he left, you've seen what happened. Now he's back. He has his son as the offense coordinator. The coaching staff is the main factors in all of this. And as long as they working together, and Belichick using his philosophy he's been doing with the veterans on defense with Judon, Van Noy, Hightower, J.C. Jackson, it's going to be hard to beat New England. Definitely if you got to go to New England, it's going to be very hard to beat them. Mac Jones looked pretty good as well. So I do think they have a chance at the Super Bowl, which is a 75% chance, which is pretty high. So we'll see how it goes.
Rod?
Yeah, I remember when Mac first got drafted to the Patriots, I thought that was a mistake. I was definitely wrong about that. Getting rid of Cam, I said was a mistake. I was definitely wrong about that. I still don't think he's the best quarterback in the draft. We all know that's Justin Fields, but he's doing his job. And like Wayne mentioned, that coaching staff is big. That defense is definitely a top 5 defense, especially with their secondary. J.C. Jackson playing like a top 5 corner, believe it or not. Judon, they're good at they're one of the best teams at stopping the run, which is needed for the playoffs and the trenches. So I definitely think they could make it there. But I gotta see them. I need to see how Mac Jones is gonna play in Buffalo. I believe they have a game against the Colts in Indy. I want to see him play better on the road. I feel like his best games has been at home. So I think next weekend or this upcoming weekend against the Bills is a big task, and if he gets that done, if he could get that done and play good, I feel like he needs to play good against that secondary with no Travius White. I think this is a big test for him. I think if he can do that, then he can make it to the Super Bowl. The team can make it to the Super Bowl.
Man, you know what? It's scary right now. Just thinking the fact that the Patriots can be back in the Super Bowl. I'm just going in my head right now thinking about what teams can possibly challenge them in the AFC. I mean, you got your Chargers, Wayne. You got teams like the Ravens sitting at the top of the AFC North. You got teams like Kansas City who are starting to kind of get the ball rolling. Finally, they went from last place in their division to top of the division. So like, which teams do you guys see giving the Patriots the run for the money for that title spot in the AFC?
I would say
you go first. I'm thinking.
I would say the team that was the champions last season, the Chiefs. I feel like they're more recently experienced of making it to that point. So I feel like they have a lot of experience, a lot of chemistry. I know the Patriots got chemistry as well, especially with the coaching staff, but Andy Reid is a great coach as well. Like Bill Belichick, I feel like that'd be a good head-to-head matchup with the coaching. Quarterback situation, we all know Mahomes is a better quarterback. I feel like they're now starting to pick up the groove, the Chiefs, with their running game, which is also good. And you got Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill on the offense. I know the defense is a big test, a big question mark, but I feel like lately, these past 2 games, they're starting to pick it up, especially that secondary.
I really like that take. I was going to say the Chiefs as well, but just to be different, I would say Baltimore Ravens, only because Lamar has shown that he cannot be stopped. John Harbaugh has very good games against Belichick. And like you said, their coaching staff, they're kind of a team that's been there, done that, even though they got a lot of injuries. But always going to Baltimore is tough. And then playing Baltimore is tough. They still a physical team. And with Lamar Jackson, anything is possible.
Yeah, especially when you're going 4 picks and still winning.
Yeah, that was a tough game, man. I mean, Lamar, he definitely can't go into the playoffs playing like that. But I want to say, Rod, I agree with you. I feel like the team to still watch is the Kansas City Chiefs. I know that their defense has been, their kryptonite all season. That's been their weakest point. And even the offense hasn't been, clicking as smooth as we used to seeing them click, making these big plays downfield. We haven't seen Tyreek Hill just go for some crazy numbers yet this season. But I still feel like the Chiefs are a team that we should keep our eyes on, especially having a leader like Patrick Mahomes. And again, like you said, Rod, they have the experience. They've been there before. But it's going to be interesting to see if the Patriots can indeed make it to the Super Bowl. But let's go ahead and talk about a different topic, you guys. Let's switch over to the NFC West. We're going to talk about Russell Wilson. So right now, Seattle Seahawks are currently sitting in last in their division. It's not looking good for them. They lost their running back for the year. They're fighting a bunch of injuries. So, Rod, I want to ask you, are we firsthand seeing Russell Wilson's time in Seattle come to an end? I mean, do you think this offseason he's going to make a change?
Oh, he's absolutely leaving. It's either Pete Carroll's going or Russell Wilson's going. Probably both of them going. They need a whole reset. And you know where Russell Wilson's going. He already got his jersey for the Saints. Already got it. I'm already about to pre-order it. If you guys don't know, you guys should pre-order it. Like, we all know, he had 4 teams last offseason he wanted to get traded to, and the Saints was one of them. You got to think about it with the quarterback situation. Jameis Winston was only a 1-year deal, so he's going to be a free agent. Our salary, it's been reduced. We cut it down because we gave Taysom that money. We spread out his money. I think we did that to make up more salary for a guy like Russell Wilson. So I feel like he wants to come to the Saints. He wanted to come to the Saints last season. We couldn't get the trade done. And we need a quarterback right now. We got a great team, a great defense. We have one of the best running backs in the game right now in Alvin Kamara. We got one of the best receivers coming back from an injury. He had a whole year off, so he's gonna be nice and healthy. And we got a lot of second and third options receiving core with Traquan Smith. He can stay healthy. Marquez Callaway has been consistent with Jameis Winston. He's been playing good, and Deontay Harris. Imagine then what they could do with Russell Wilson. And that O-line always been top of the charts. We just got to stay healthy with the offensive line, but definitely he's going to be a Saint. Already confirmed and signed. We just don't know it yet. We're just waiting for him to announce it.
I wouldn't. That's a pretty good take. That quarterback situation tough. So I see what you're saying. They gonna let Jameis go that easy. That's a tough call. But I think Russell Wilson is gonna leave Seattle. Oh, you go ahead. What you saying?
No, I mean, I would say it's a tough call because the type of person Jameson with his character. He's a great person and a great overall team player. But remember, he messed up his ACL and MCL. So it's kind of hard to come back
from that.
Mm-hmm. So we just got to make the business move. So it is what it is. Like you said, NFL sports in general as an athlete's a business. So,
But I do believe Russ is leaving Seattle. He felt like Aaron Rodgers is getting no help. The offensive play calling is terrible. It seems like they run the same plays: run. He scrambles, play action to Tyler Lockett, or force it to DK. And it's the defense on the side of the ball is inconsistent, as strong as you think they are with Jamal Adams back there. But that's not working. And I think he's tired of it. I think he's just tired of it. And Pete, like you say, either Pete Carroll got to go or he got to go. In my eyes, I think it's Pete Carroll because his coaching style, I think he's still trying to coach like it's the Legion of Boom or something, or I'm not too sure. But as watching that game, Seattle, they struggle a lot. And I think Russ is tired of it. Too much talent to be playing with Seattle.
Yeah, I agree with you, Wayne. I agree about the part with Seattle making the plays. They don't run as many passing plays. You know how the lead is transitioned to like a passing lead, more of a spread offense. And Seattle is, one of the few teams that like to dominate physically up front, run that ball, get Russell in the play action, similar to like how Tennessee like to play football. But if you don't have a great running back, none of that's really going to be effective. And we've seen that firsthand.
Ain't no Marshawn Lynch. You can't do that.
There's no Marshawn Lynch. They lose Chris Carson. Seattle's
every year
always
they
been,
lose Chris Carson.
A run. Right. They've always been a team with running back by committee, So when they don't have the running backs behind Russell Wilson to take the pressure off him, to distract those linebackers and whatnot, it makes it a lot tougher for Russ. But I would like to see the change with Pete Carroll as well. I don't think Russ would want to leave Seattle unless he goes to a top contender or a retirement spot, meaning like LA, New York, or Florida, or something like that. But when I think about the teams in those spots, none of those teams really just need a quarterback. Like the New York teams, they just got Zach Wilson, Daniel Jones. You think about the California teams, Trey Lance just got picked up. San Francisco, LA got their quarterback, So it's not really many teams in retirement spots, I would say, for him.
I mean, do they really got a quarterback?
Who?
You said LA got their quarterback. Do they really got their quarterback now?
Well, they've already paid the price, so it don't make sense to pay twice. But I feel like Russ should stay in Seattle, man. I would like to see them get somebody new. I mean, all this controversy about Cliff Kingsbury leaving the Cardinals, I don't buy into it. But if he was to leave, I'd love to see somebody like him team up with a Russ and give him like a more open offense. Let Russ cook like the way we seen him last season before they got, shut down and started to cool off. But I think Russ is going to stay in Seattle. I would love to see him in New Orleans, Rod. I would love to see him in New Orleans.
It's already confirmed, man. I'm telling you. I've been saying this since last offseason. He's gonna be a Saint. So,
but I got this feeling just being from New Orleans. I feel like superstar players, for some reason, I get the feeling that they just don't want to be there. I don't think it has anything to do with the team. I think it has more so to do with the city. But that's just my personal opinion. I would love to see him in New Orleans, but I just don't think Sierra will be going for that. but we all know the move has to be made. It's either going to be Russ or Pete Carroll. Somebody's going to have to go because this is the worst we've seen the Seahawks probably in the past decade.
Yeah.
You know, so it's time for them changes. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about our last topic tonight. We're gonna talk about these LA Rams. So the Rams started off the season. What was that? 7-1, 7-1, and they've recently lost their last 3 games. And if you guys been paying attention, y'all know the Rams have brought in Odell Beckham. They brought in Von Miller to add to that defense, along with Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald and the rest of those guys. So we all expecting them to play lights out. First game, they had a short week, played against the Cardinals. They lost that game. We expecting them to do better the next week, and they lost again. So 2 consecutive losses here, guys, since the trades, and 3 in total consecutive losses. Are we concerned about the Rams? I mean, are they gonna make it to the playoffs? Are they gonna run deep? Wayne, what you think?
I'm concerned about the Rams, but I believe they are going to make the playoffs. Only reason I'm very concerned about the Rams, one, because getting a player like Odell and Von Miller, yeah, the defense may got better, but as we just watched Green Bay game, it doesn't look, the run defense wasn't as really good even with Von Miller coming in. It wasn't even Aaron Donald right there. Their run defense is terrible. It's not really that good. The pass defense, you really have one corner, so the team's going to, as we've seen, target the other corners like it's nothing. Like, we're not even going to throw the Rams. We're just going to target the other players back there. The O-line is not getting a lot of protection from Matthew Stafford. So you're looking at the teams in the NFC, it's a lot of great defenses with Tampa, Dallas, Green Bay, the Niners, and they're going to get to the playoffs, but they're not going to make it far playing like how they playing now. You bring Odell in, that puts pressure, I believe, on Matthew Stafford even more because, Odell, we know he's a diva. He wants the ball. We know that. But Cup is humble, quiet. He going to get his – but Cup didn't get the ball like that. And you force it – I feel like they're going to try to force it to Odell, which is going to bring even more problems, as I believe we're saying. They can't run the football in my eyes. I can't see them – they're not really a run team. So, and Robert Woods' injury, like I said, was big. Now Jefferson, he's stepping up, but he's more like that deep threat. Robert Woods was more their third and down slant guy, and he did some other stuff as well. But I believe they're gonna make it far, but I'm very concerned for them. As they was the Super Bowl favorites, I believe, early in the season. Now they're not. I believe that's true. They're not a Super Bowl favorite no more, though.
Listen. I want an apology from both of you guys because I remember the last time I was on this show, I was trying to tell you guys that Matthew Stafford is not the answer. He's been trash to me ever since he first put on that Lions jersey. Megatron made him who he was, and he is not the answer for LA. They are going to lose in the first round. That defense is okay, but if that defensive line can't get to the quarterback, it's over because that secondary is weak besides Ramsey. And Ramsey don't like to follow the best receivers. We saw that last week against the Packers. He didn't want to guard Devontae Adams. And like you said, Wayne, they could barely run the ball. And I just don't see it. Like, if they can't get to the quarterback, then they have no chance. And we know Matthew Stafford is going to do Matthew Stafford things. We've seen it these past few weeks, giving the ball up every time. So they're going to lose in the first round. And what can I say? When I'm right, I'm right.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that I still like the Rams defense. With the playmakers they have on the field, I feel like they always can have a huge impact. If the Rams aren't successful in the playoffs, I'm going to blame the coaching staff 100% because they don't lack talent. I mean, anywhere, like you said, Rod, the weakest position that they probably have is offensive line. I mean, other than that, you got skill players on the outside. You got a decent running game with Darrell Henderson behind Matthew Stafford. And those playmakers on defense can always keep you in the game if they're playing the way they're supposed to be playing. So, again, I mean, to me, it all kind of boils down to the coaching staff just to make sure that the guys are in position, towards the end of the game to win the game. But the Rams have they got the personnel to win, to make this deep run. I mean, who in the NFC that you think is going to knock them out?
I got the Cardinals knocking them up. The Cardinals been winning games. Who, McCoy?
Maybe the Packers if they see him again.
The Cardinals are winning
Packers.
without no Kyler, no DeAndre Hopkins. Easily. Imagine when they
People don't
come back
forget the
healthy.
Cardinals.
Yeah,
But
like,
JJ
come on.
Watt's a curse to any team. Anytime he get hurt, catch the season goodbye.
I mean, that offensive Cardinals is different though, with Kyler Murray behind it. And you gotta think about it. The Rams, yeah, they got Odell, Von Miller, they cool. You gotta think about it. They don't got the chemistry. That team got no
That's true.
chemistry. And that shows, especially on the defensive side and the offensive side, especially. And once Matthew Stafford don't got no connections and no chemistry with their quarterback, with their his receiving core, you know it's gonna be Pick City.
So how far do you got the Rams going? Again,
First round.
first
No matter who
exit?
they play. No matter who they play. They could be in LA. It don't even matter. It don't even matter.
It depends.
And we're gonna see. They might get matched up against somebody like Dallas, man. But you never know, man.
That's
We just gotta
and
wait
I
and
even like
see.
the Cowboys. I don't even trust Dak, but I'm gonna trust him against the Rams. Let's see Amari Cooper playing.
All right. Well, any final takes, you guys? Anything y'all want to let the people know?
Hey, make sure y'all get your Russell Wilson jerseys next year when you're playing for the Saints. That's all I'm gonna say. I already
Make
pre-ordered.
sure y'all
mine.
don't give up on my Chargers. Herbert gonna figure it out.
Right.
Oh hell
And
no!
I want to say to all you Cowboy fans out there, if y'all lose this week to the Saints and we ain't got nobody.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Oh,
That's another thing. Y'all got your head coach missing, a few players missing, but we had the same amount of players missing too. And remember, when we played the Panthers,
Now,
we
this
had
gonna be an
8
injury
coaches
game.
missing. We had 8 coaches missing. So I don't want to hear no excuses.
It's the
no
injury game.
excuses, Dallas. Well, there you guys have it. This is my point exactly. I appreciate you guys for being here with me, Rod and Wayne. I appreciate you listeners for tuning in each and every single week. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment. Check out some of the other shows here on Spot on Sports. We got SOS Discussions. We got She Got Game. And also on weekends, we over at the Daiquiri Shop. So you can catch some live games here on Spot on Sports. But again, we appreciate you guys for being here with us. And we'll see you guys next week.
We thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode. Be sure to check out more shows here on this YouTube page, such as SOS Discussions or My Point Exactly. And most of all,
Keep watching Spot on Sports!
it's a new wave of sports that's sweeping the nation. We're not just accurate, it's spot on.